Die, freak. G'day, this is Captainoob, and this is an anti-armor old guard's 10mm submachine gun. Now, this particular weapon is earned by doing all of the foundation quests right up to the point where you side with them and commit to raiding Vault 70 something. Hang on, I should know this. It's Vault 79. Yeah, I was close enough to it. Anyway, so what you've got here is a submachine gun with the anti-armor legendary effect and something a little bit more subtle than probably more players will actually care to notice. Note the rate of fire there is at 100. If we look at a standard fire rate submachine gun here, we're getting 91. So it's a small difference, but any bit of DPS helps, especially when we're only dealing with one legendary effect, which anti-armor is good. I think it's underrated. People say it's trash, but it's good against heavily armored targets because when you're not hitting them for an extreme amount of damage, punching through that armor to, give yourself an extra boost is pretty good. And the parts on this that usually spawn, I had a refined receiver replace it with a hardened. I had a piercing magazine. I changed it to a perforating magazine. The forceful stock and aligned stub barrel spawn on this weapon, so to stay a little bit true to it, I'm going to have those on. And I've actually noticed that the aligned stub barrel it gives less recoil than the longer barrels, so I guess this thing is sort of meant to be like a close-range submachine gun type weapon. I mean, obviously. But it does penalize you for extending that range out to wherever, I guess, beyond its means. And, having a short barrel playing to its strengths means the recoil is a lot easier to manage, which means you can hold down the trigger and get DPS on your targets a little bit easier than normal. As you can tell, the range here is significantly different, but that's fine. So we'll grab Tank Killer, of course, to, further boost our armor penetration abilities, and we'll find all of these commando perks, which I'm pretty sure I just skipped one. There it is. That's Rifleman. That's not work. There's Commando. And instead of 2 ranks of Mr. Sandman and 1 rank of Gunfu, I've just got 3 ranks of Dodgy in there. I am going to be, I guess, running and gunning with this thing, not worrying too much about sneak, but if we get into a dire situation, I've got armor bits and everything that would help me out with that. So Serendipity goes on as well. We've got 3 ranks of sneak. Covert Operative is there if we nail sneak attack criticals, mutations, and my armor is all chameleon. You see, this is superior to Chinese stealth armor because most of this has AP refresh. Also, that's pretty decent, I guess. Alright, let's get started then, shall we? Oh yeah, the weapon does 77 damage too, which is the same as my Bloodied one, but my health is at 100%, so Bloodied is doing absolutely nothing right now, so the damage isn't enhanced, unfortunately. So we've only got the anti-armor and the extra fire rate to deal with. The fire rate is obviously bigger on this one because of that increased fire rate bonus. Okay, so here we are outside of ZeniMax headquarters, and here's what we look like with the submachine gun. The stub barrel, I think it actually looks a lot better aesthetically than the longer barrel, and yeah, they've also got some Raider clothes on. Now, I especially like this little bandana beanie thing because your hair shows under it, so it doesn't turn you into a bald freak like a lot of the hoods do. But yeah, this is the Raider Pathfinder gear. It's the stuff from, what's it called, the deluxe edition. Thanks, Bethesda, appreciate it. Anyways, we'll get started on these guys, and I know that I said I wouldn't sneak, so we'll see how we go. Until we get some adrenaline going, maybe some adrenal reaction, we probably won't see a whole ton of damage out of this, but we can even the odds a little bit if we target the head, and Dodgy is doing some good work here. I've got radworms from that dog. That's honestly not too much of a problem. Just got to make sure the ghouls don't punch me now. But yeah, I'm finding the iron sights as restrictive as ever. Unfortunately, Wastelanders didn't expand upon what attachments we could have gotten out of the 10mm submachine gun, but it gave us this cool unique gun, which I can feel the fire rate difference. I've used the 10mm submachine gun just at the regular variety a lot. I've used it quite a lot, so fucking listen to me when I say the fire rate is noticeable, even though it's only increased by 9, but higher numbers being increased to higher things, the higher fire rate, more DPS, yay. Alright, so at this point we've got quite a lot of ye old adrenal reaction, and apparently I one-shotted that guy, which, hang on, was he a skirmisher? Yes, okay, that makes sense. But yeah, plenty of dogs around, which is good for me because they're creatures that have to run up and kill me, and they're kind of squishy as compared to super mutant warlords. Reload before I engage this next guy. So, yeah, that works for me, and it looks like I'm hitting them for about 98. We're not even in Nerd Rage yet, so we could be going even stronger, but yeah, I'm thinking Dodgy kind of helped me out a lot there with all of that extra, I mean, the agility is nice too, but giving me the action points as they are, and I think I've got all ultralight build on these, but yeah, that's kind of helped me out quite a bit. Alright, let's see how fast I can clear these guys out with just a one anti-armor thing, right? I'm guessing a lot of people threw this directly into the script bin because they saw, ooh, anti-armor submachine gun, no thanks. I mean, yeah, it is possible that you've gotten something better now, but is it worth scripting, you know, if you don't have an option? I don't think it is. I think it's actually worth having a look at if you've got the... Nice one. Thought I killed him. If you've got the 10 mils to run this thing, it's actually an extremely powerful weapon. And if you've spec'd out to commando and all of that, well... It'll look after you if you look after it. Now I'm hitting for 143. Doggos are howling. They still continue to howl even after you've killed them, which is odd. That guy's got an automatic rifle. He's like, to comply with that game, random goth chick, who has slaughtered countless of us. There we go. Okay, so that was some nice suppression by that super mutant, but we've got the fire rate to deal with most of our targets here very effectively. See, I can run in and not have to worry about being completely... I will avoid that grenade, though. Bad time to have a super sledge, my man. Anyways, so yeah, as you can tell, we're shredding. We are in Nerd Rage, though, so we're kind of pushing this to the limits right now. But that being said, they still haven't gotten the killing blow on me yet, so that's definitely worth mentioning. Worth noting. That one almost did. We don't even have serendipity proc on that. I think that was Dodgy again saving my ass. It's one of the best, like, tanking perks. Completely overpowered in Nuclear Winter. Unless you get shot at by an automatic, which, you know, automatics are just extremely powerful in Nuclear Winter. They forgot where I was. And I am offhanding stealth, so we kind of don't need to do it, but we can. And with that, still in caution. I'm thinking Mad Max Super Mutant and his dog, although... I'm guessing there's a lot more Mad Maxes in this place at this time because there's just dogs everywhere. Gotta nerf that XP. And they're not to counter stealth builds. Someone theorized that they're kind of oblivious to everything, but now we're doing 181, and keep in mind that fire rate is gonna, you know, make that DPS very, very good. Also, nut shots only. Okay, so engaging super mutants and killing them all basically on my terms, I choose to engage, is one thing, but what if I were to purchase fast food and disguise it as my own cooking? Also, what if I were to run into a bunch of ghouls and then possibly get crippled and all other manner of bad stuff? We'll see how we go. Now, we've got some decent damage on these guys. I did refill my health a little bit from drinking from the fountain because I wasn't going to run into a bunch of ghouls with radworms. That's just asking for trouble, but so far so good. We haven't kind of been swarmed yet. Surely this thing's loud enough to make these guys aggroed from everywhere around. Here we go. Knock down that legendary before he regenerates. Very nice. We're still kind of taking this slow, but we're not really being pushed by these tools right now. I wonder how many people have already commented, I just script mine without even putting any thought into it. Like, you look at the stats, I was looking at this thing, I was like, well, why have they just given us a random ass fucking... Hey, there's a deer in here, that's interesting. It's like we're rolling Fallout 3 random encounters here. That's weird. But yeah, I wonder how many people, you know, didn't even take a look at this thing, just script it because it was just a one-star thing. And how many console players script it because it's not TSE. Listen, console players, alright? TSE meta is over. We're running Bloodied Fire Rate. That's the king meta right there. I think we're done. I might just go and check, but now we've got the added penalties of not being able to sprint, so, you know, things will go bad if they do go bad. Like, really bad. You know, back in my day, ghouls would jump up the slightest bloody noise and then go and investigate it. You guys are lazy. You're asking for bloody handouts. I bet none of you actually carry radworms these days, bastards. Anyways, we've got one more over here. I was thinking that I'd just, you know, get these guys in the choke point and see if we can hold out against them, but apparently in this case we kind of didn't need to. Let's move on. Now, if Bethesda really wanted to make this 10mm submachine gun feel unique, if they put a suppressor on it, oh man, unprecedented. We've been asking for a goddamn suppressor on these things for ages. Also, I've heard a little bit of an interesting rumor from these guys that some of them carry laser guns, right, that are automatic, and I've noted that they've done like, I mean, I've not noted like on a video, but I've noticed that they do a ton more damage than what any old laser gun should. Supposedly, they're spawning with nuclear winter parts, and you know that gives them more damage, which is... Is that the dog talking to me? What's that all about? Like, who's alive to even say that? The dog just talked. The only talking dog in Appalachia, and I just blew it to pieces. That's weird. I'm just gonna go away. I think I've gone mad. Maybe Winter's gone mad. She's been through quite a lot. Quite a lot of things have happened over the course of this. Anyways, so we'll go over this one. He's out and about already. Also, he's out to play. We're pulling the old sneaky tricks on him. Now I'm thinking with our fire rate and our VATS accuracy, we have to creep in real close. But if we can get some cheeky criticals, I think it lagged there. That's okay. Nice stagger there from Tank Killer. That's nice. And he's on fire too. Anyways, we've got some more action points, so we'll use them all. Ooh. Alright. Alright, Swan, I'll hand that one to you. That was a good hit. And yeah, he's definitely... I think the only reason why he's still alive is because... Ooh, okay. Number one, there's rubber banding health, which, you know, might just be my shitty connection to the server. But two, that extra bit of lag when it was mutating, I reckon I could have taken him, but... And as the final insult to injury, he's given us a 1-star drop, despite being 3 stars. Alright, time to face the crabs. And there was, the Swarm of Suitors event just popped up, and, ooh. Okay, Myla Queen's out to play too. They don't like this, 1-star weapon, I guess. Why wouldn't you like it? It's actually good. See? Especially when you can actually hit your targets. Also, it might have been because there's a couple of Blood Eagles bumming around here. I think I've heard some... Yeah, there they are. Excuse me. I chose this spot because there's no interference with you freaks. Anyway, so even against tanky things, it'll take a full magazine, but, you know... Still gets them done pretty quickly, and with the extra fire rate, you see, yeah, nice. Just being staggered in midair like that, classic Fallout 76. Yeah, with the extra fire rate, you'll go through the mag quicker, you see. So, yay DPS. There's some really weird stuff going on with stealth at the moment. Probably should have rebooted the server before I attempted making this, because it screwed me over a couple of times. Also, Myla Queens. Terrible mothers send their own children to die in combat. Anyways, let's move on to the bats. And yes, I've cut this out now because only what's it called? The Snallygasses spawn there, and it won't be replaced. We'll still finish off with the bats though. We're not dropping the bats unless Bethesda decides that they're out of the game. Weird stealth. Okay, so these guys are sitting pretty up there because I'm getting massive range penalties on them. So if they do want to jump down so I can, you know, mash their face in with lots of 10mm bullets, then that would be good. But I'm thinking what I might have to do is lock onto a wing and just cripple it with Tormentor, or just, you know, wait for them to land on their own volition, which is possible sometimes. There we go. Let's see if I can't aggro these guys a little bit. See, I'm hitting them for basically nothing there. The good thing is, though, that they can do barely any damage to me because I've got dodgy and fireproof. There we go. Rubber band all you want, health bar. Weird to rubber band like that. Also, excuse me. Hey, look, the muzzle flash is still there. Anti-gravity fucking cricket strike again. See, this is why having an extra point of strength to chuck in something like block would be helpful. I'd honestly... Hang on a second. No, wasn't the food that got me killed. Also, I'm stuck. There we go. not all sunshine. Sunshine. Fuck me, I can't even speak. Oh, they're all scorched. That makes sense, actually. Yeah, they'd be all, under normal circumstances, glowing ones, so they don't mess around, these guys. But yeah, under regular old circumstances, I'd be sneaking, using a suppressor, and I wouldn't run into problems like that. But saying that, oh my god, these zombies won't fuck off. I mean, good at close range. We've got a shredder at close range, so if they're melee and we can escape them by backpedaling, even better. Now, you're going to land, friend. If not, you're kind of sitting there. Had his ears down. What was that all about? I'm gonna run in nice and close here, I reckon. There we go. Jump up a little bit, see if we can't eliminate what range penalties we have. See, 35 once we get in close. In the 90s. There we go. There's a little bit more tactical use of serendipity. I mean, I guess that if I proc it, but tactical use of marsupial rather than actually using it to bounce around like a trampoline, like I'm being attacked by a bunch of ghouls and all I've got to defend myself is a bow. Also, this is a better weapon than a bow, and guess what you have to do to get it? Just finish some quest lines, which you're gonna do anyway, right? So, yeah, if people script this thing, get sort of a bow in their inventories, just take a good look at yourself, mate, because you've got it all wrong. If you are looking for a decent weapon, if you haven't got anything other, like, if you haven't achieved any other weapons, haven't grabbed anything else extremely powerful, then it's a good starter weapon and should not be overlooked. Thank you very much for watching, guys. I'm gonna go to bed. I'm tired.